Hello, this is Mike, and I was asked to create some very basic videos on sort of start to finish on how to do just a generic company logo. So this is what I'm going to do. I've downloaded some generic logo art from the internet so that we don't get in trouble with any corporate licensing or anything. And what we're going to do right now is I'm going to go to File and then New Design. This starts me with a new blank canvas. And I'm going to switch to inch mode temporarily. I like metric mode, but some people prefer inch mode, so you can see you can change just by clicking that corner. And I'm going to import an image. So I'm going to go to Image and Import. And these are some just logos that we're going to be doing in some training videos that I'm going to make. And so this is going to be the first one we're going to start. Click OK, and there's my logo. Or it's a good practice to try to digitize at the size that you're going to sew at. That way you can keep track of things like your stitch width and things like that, because you should never really try to stitch much below 1 millimeter. Otherwise you're going to have all kinds of sewing issues. So I'm going to measure this logo, and I'm going to make sure that it is a finished product is going to be about 3 inches. So that's where I want to digitize it at. So I'm going to go to Image, and I'm going to say Resize. That's why I switched it to inch mode. And I'm going to say from here to here, I want that to be 3 inches. And it says it's 1.76 now. So it lets me put in 3 inches, and that changes the mathematical calculation. Okay, and now I'm ready to go. The first thing you should do with any logo is you should look at it and say, okay, how do I want this to stitch? Like what color goes first, what color goes second, what color goes third, fourth, etc. This one is very simple. That's why it's a basic logo. It's only 3 colors, and so I have orange, green, and blue. The green is repeated, the blue is repeated. So generally speaking, I would like to start somewhat in the center and work my way out. Not always possible, not always prudent, but for this particular logo, that works out to be well. So I'm going to do the orange, and then I'm going to do the green, and then I'm going to do the blue. So let's go here. I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to switch back to metric. The reason is you have this taskbar down here will give you direction. All right, and it's always going to be in metric. So I just want to keep it in metric so that I know. Otherwise, it's going to be in hundredths of an inch, which I don't do that well in my head. I know 10 points is 1 millimeter. That's what I need to know. So I'm going to go to Column Tool. And the Column Tool is a point counterpoint thing. You don't outline it like you would with the normal fill. So I can say click, 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 click. These are short clicks. Okay? And the short clicks allow me to make curves. Now I have a little bit of a wobble there, so I can move that point. EOS allows us to edit the points while we're in creation mode. And I can also, if I want to control that a little bit better, I can turn on the Bezier handles. So if you go to View, okay, it'll say Show Hide Control Points. You see that's a hotkey letter N. If I can do that, I get these handles where I can adjust the curves. If you find that cluttered, you can always hit the letter N on your keyboard and it'll turn it off or on, or under the View menu as you want. Okay, so this block is finished, so I'm going to right click and say Stitch It. And I'm going to say start here and end here. You can see down at the bottom left corner, it's given us direction. It's saying input the entry point. Basically, where do you want to start stitching from? Here, and you can end here. I can end anywhere on the line I want. I'm going to actually end here also, just to show you that EOS puts a running stitch over to here and then stitches it back to the end point. Okay. So that's the first color, the first block, whatever. If you want this to be in the actual colors of the design, you can right click here, all right, and take your eyedropper, pick that orange, and click OK, and it will add it in. So I can go, this is going to be the second color, and this is going to be the third color. So remember, right click, click on your graphic, and the stitches will be the same color. Sometimes it's not a wise decision because they kind of disappear on you. But so now we're going to click left on 2, and it's going to have us digitize this. So I'm going to do the same exact thing. And I'm going to go click, 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 click. I'm going to do it relatively fast. You guys have seen me do the first one, so I don't know how much this repetitiveness is going to pay off. So let's go here, turn the control points back on so I can get these fixed. And I'm going to say stitch from here to here this time. Now, if we look at this, there is no central line. This is why we probably shouldn't have changed it to the exact same color. All right. You see, there's no central line in there like there was in the orange because it's stitched from here to there. All right. Now we're going to come over here and type and do the company word. Now, you could drop this in from keyboard, but this is more of a digitizing tutorial, so I don't want to just use keyboard. So we're going to come back to the column tool, and I'm going to zoom in harder on this. And yes, this is a little curved on the outside, but in reality, when this sews, these stitches are they're less than 2 millimeters long. It would be, futile to try to bend stitches like that. So we're going to do this. Now, a unique thing about EOS, you see I'm going from left to right, but EOS does allow you to go any side you want. It's one of the few systems out there that you can do that with. Otherwise, most systems will twist this into a knot. All right, so then I'm going to say start from here to here. Now, what if I want to trim between these? Now, we can always control that later, but for right now, if you wanted to, you can click the scissors, and it places a scissor in there. And then we can put our control points in. This is one of the questions that we get a lot, that how do we close this shape? A lot of times people will try to put the line on top of the other line, and that's not the way to do it, because we can move these points if we want. In order to put a point on top of a point, we have to turn that feature off. So in lieu of doing that, we offer you the auto close. Uncheck opened, and it will automatically close the shape. Stitch it here to here, and let's put another scissor in, and we're getting to a point here where we got to make a decision. All right, this is a multi-branched block, meaning this is one block, this is one block, this is one block. I'm using the Pro Elite version, so I can click this icon right here, insert branch, and put in my second branch. Now, other people will do this different ways. Some people will try to make a line straight up there. This is the way I've always done it. There is no right or wrong answer on that. It's just what you want to do. If you like it one way, then by all means do it any way you want. All right, so just tweak that a little bit and insert another branch and click, click. Stitch it, and it'll all be one block. One start, one end point. See? Now, I will show you on the P, if we are at the Creator Plus level, you would need to assemble these separately and then combine them afterwards. So we'll click here, and I'm going to do this block first. It kind of really doesn't matter which one you do first if you're going to branch it or use the Creator Plus method. So we're going to go stitch it, and then we will come and we'll do this like this. So you see now I have two blocks here. So what I can do is I can select this one and then hold the control key and select that one and then merge them. I'm not going to bore you with all the rest of the letters. We're just going to move on to the next color. If you're beginning, you're probably better off dropping in text from the keyboard and just type name. I know I said this is a digitizing one, but small letters are kind of hard to do. So what you're going to be doing is you want to look for a font that has like the word small in it. And I know everybody wants to do these really thin, small letters, but it's very difficult to do. So you see that block small is really bold. And the reason being is it's trying to make sure that you have enough stitch width to do your lettering. See, so if we do that, we can italicize it with this right here and get it to be pretty close to what we need. Now, whether or not you like that or not, you might find one that's a little smaller. I think the A1, A2 fonts are a lot thinner than block small. So if we go A1, you see that's probably pretty close to what we're going to need. I'm going to bring it down here where you can see it. And we'll put it right there. And so basically there's your logo, and if you want to see what it looks like, you can turn the background on and off. That's this little icon here, or view show hide image.